Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at noon.
Flags across Minnesota are at half-staff today in honor of Perham native Charles Nord. Hi, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Jordan Schreier. The National Guard soldier died earlier this month when the Black Hawk helicopter he was in crashed near St. Cloud. His funeral is underway right now in Perham, Minnesota at the high school. We have a reporter covering this somber event, and we will have more on how the community is honoring his life tonight on Valley News Live. And funeral services have been set for the president and CEO of the Fargo-Moorhead West Fargo Chamber of Commerce. 59-year-old Craig Whitney died on Saturday. He had been at the chamber for nearly 10 years. The visitation is scheduled from 5 to 7 Thursday at the Yumcomb Center in downtown Moorhead. Whitney's memorial service is at 10 Friday morning at the Avalon Event Center in South Fargo. Taking that live look outside right now, kind of a gray December day out there, but warmer than we were this weekend. To see what we can expect for the rest of our Monday, let's head on over to meteorologist Lisa Green.
And at least it started with some sunshine too, but yeah, the clouds have taken over here. We're looking at temperatures on the rise though. We've seen those numbers jump now to 14 degrees in Fargo. It's 9 in Grand Forks and 18 at a bunch of places in our southern viewing area. And that includes Valley City, Oaks, Gwinner, and Sisseton. A little colder up to the north and east. Our cold spot is Foston at 3 degrees right now. Your winds are out of the southwest overall, and we're looking at wind speeds getting into that 5 to 15 mile per hour range for most. And taking a look at your radar and satellite map, where you see the movement on this loop, that's where the clouds are moving in. Where the white or gray areas are not moving, that's the snowpack the satellite's observing. And then you can also see some blue moving into the Devil's Lake Basin. There's a couple of pockets of flurries or light snow showers we may see as we head into the afternoon hours today, but overall looking pretty quiet. And in addition to that, of course, we've got some areas where clouds are moving in, and Fargo is one of them. So more details on this coming up in just a little bit. We'll also take a look at the milder weather that's ahead of us coming up in just a few minutes.
Look forward to it. Thank you, Lisa. One driver is in the hospital after a crash on the I-94 overpass in the North Metro. This crash happened a little after 10 this morning and involved a car and a semi near 7th Avenue North. Officials on scene confirmed the vehicles were in the west and eastbound lanes before that crash. The person in the car was taken to the hospital, but the extent of their injuries aren't known at this time. Officials are warning drivers that bridges in the metro are still icy, so drive with caution. And 2 people are recovering from injuries after a vehicle rolled in Hubbard County, Minnesota overnight. According to the Minnesota State Patrol, around 1:37 this morning, a Ford Mustang was headed west on Highway 2 near Park Rapids when the driver lost control. The vehicle rolled before going into the median. 2 of the 4 people in that vehicle were taken to Sanford Hospital in Bemidji, but they are expected to be okay. Troopers reported the roads as being snow-covered and icy at the time of the accident. Refugee resettlement in the state of North Dakota will be limited to 3 counties. Cass County, along with Grand Forks and Burleigh County, will be the only places accepting additional refugees. Lutheran Social Services said that they will not be asking consent from any more counties. The 3 counties that will accept immigrants serve the cities of Fargo, Grand Forks, and Bismarck. North Dakota has reached a production record of 1.5 million barrels of oil per day. The state's Mineral Resources Director says it happened in October. Production is expected to continue to increase in the Bakken oil field for the foreseeable future because OPEC and Russia agreed to curb oil outputs this month to reduce an abundant global supply. Now to the start of a historic week in Washington. For just the 3rd time, the full House is expected to vote on the impeachment of a president. And overnight, Democrats released a new report detailing their case against President Donald Trump. Here's Kristen Welker with more.
Overnight, Democrats making their closing argument for impeaching President Trump. In a new 658-page report released just hours ago, House Judiciary Committee Chairman Jerry Nadler concluding the president has, quote, realized the framers' worst nightmare by abusing his power in seeking the help of a foreign government to dig up dirt on his political rivals and even accusing him of bribery. Nadler also highlighting the 2 articles of impeachment against the president, abuse of power and obstruction of Congress.
We cannot take the risk that the next election will be corrupted through foreign interference solicited by the president.
Also overnight, Minority Leader Chuck Schumer laying out a plan for what he considers a fair trial if impeachment does occur, calling on issuing more subpoenas and days of new witness testimony, including that of Acting Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney and former National Security Advisor John Bolton. Majority Leader Mitch McConnell's office responding the two would discuss the contours of a trial soon. Democrats accusing Senate Republicans of failing to be impartial jurors after McConnell said last week he is working in total coordination with the White House.
It's a complete subversion of the constitutional scheme.
Even though senators will take an oath to do impartial justice, President Trump's Republican allies are defending him.
I am clearly made up my mind. I'm not trying to hide the fact that I have disdain for the accusations in the process.
Senator Lindsey Graham's GOP colleagues echoing him.
We're going to hear the evidence repeated, but we're not going to see any new evidence.
Even with the Republican-led Senate likely to acquit the president, House Intelligence Committee Chairman Adam Schiff says Democrats will have done their constitutional duty regardless of the outcome.
It's not a failure in the sense of our constitutional duty in the House.
The House has not set a date for the full impeachment vote, but some sources have indicated that it could happen on Wednesday. In our consumer alert this afternoon, Uber plans to double down on its investment into electric bikes and scooters. The company, best known for its ride-sharing service, has worked to diversify. The firm bought Jump, a bike-sharing service based in the U.S. last year, betting on the growth of the so-called micro-mobility space. It has since rolled out the company's two-wheelers internationally, mostly in European cities. The firm didn't provide data on how many U.S. users took rides with Jump, but said its most popular city right now is Paris, followed by Sacramento and Seattle. And companies like Uber Eats and DoorDash have taken a bite out of the traditional restaurant business. McDonald's, Starbucks, and Chipotle are among the many national restaurant chains that partnered with the delivery services. But for some, the extra delivery sales also mean lower profit margins and major operational changes. Analysts say since the services launched earlier this decade, restaurants pushed back on fees, which can sometimes be as high as 30% per order.